Shrimp with basil pesto, and I've got about 1¼ pounds of peeled and deveined shrimps and about 1½ cups of cherry tomatoes. I'm just gonna half those, very simple. And then 1½ ounces or about 3 cups of basil. This basil is from my garden, so it's pretty dirty. I'm gonna wash it a couple times, and I'll show you how I do that. I just rinse it in a bowl of water. It's got snails on it. It's very organic, but I'm gonna clean that up, zest this lemon, wash up this basil and take it off the leaves and get rid of any of the yellow leaves, the stems. Those are all bitter. I will chop up some garlic. Garlic is optional. I'm gonna do maybe this time 1½ teaspoons of garlic. I won't use it all. If that's just a preference for you. And then I'm gonna give you some different ideas on how to make this recipe different or faster. So you, one, can buy basil at the store. You don't have to grow it, but two, you can also just buy basil pesto at the store. Then you're just poaching shrimp and basically cutting cherry tomatoes and putting pesto on it. So that's one way. And then I'm making this with pine nuts. Generally in the recipe is written like that. I was out of pine nuts, but I'm on a big pistachio kick. You can use any nut that you like. Pistachios, roasted salted, are so delicious in pesto. So that's what I'm doing today. So I like to put the basil on the bottom and the heavier ingredients on top. And I'm going to use a fine Parmesan for the garnish, but just this already pre-grated, shredded Parmesan cheese. And when pulsing the basil, I like a chunky pesto, so I'm just going to like pulse that a couple times, like 5-6 times. You can do it to your desired consistency. There's a squeeze of lemon in there. There's ½ cup of parm. There's 1/3 cup of pine nuts or pistachios, that little bit of garlic, a squeeze of lemon juice, a little bit more if you like it like that, and a little bit of salt. Also ½ cup of olive oil, extra virgin. So you're gonna taste that, right? Add salt, olive oil, lemon juice to taste. So that pesto's done, set it aside, and just poach the shrimp. And that's gonna be like 2 to 3 minutes. That's all it needs. That's a salted pot of boiling water. You can see when I add the shrimp, it's not boiling anymore. That's totally fine. It can be a light boil. And then put that in an ice bath, and that'll just cool it off immediately. I'm gonna eat this later, so I don't want the shrimp to keep cooking. And I'm gonna actually serve this cold. And so toast the pine nuts. Don't walk away from that. That takes 1 to 2 minutes in a very low heat skillet. And they burn fast, so watch it. All right, so I strained the shrimp from the ice bath, and I'm dressing it with probably about 2/3 of this pesto. And then I'm going to plate that, and I'm going to dress the, I like to plate stuff in layers so it looks really pretty. So then I dress some more with the tomatoes, and then I layer the tomatoes right on top. And then I'm going to clean up that plate, garnish with the pine nuts and that little extra bit of lemon zest. And the lemon zest is also optional. You don't have to do it. And then I've got that nice finely grated Parmesan cheese. You can find this recipe at eatsimplefood.com. Lastly, I still have about 1/3 of that pesto left, and I'm just going to make some orzo and toss the rest of that pesto in there and add a little bit of olive oil. So you can add more pesto to the shrimp, or you can have a little bit for something else that you're eating.